friends, Matthew Harris here. Super excited to spend a few moments with you as part of this incredible ANCE experience. And listen, I know whether you're watching online by yourself or maybe you're with a group of your team together, I just want to applaud you first and foremost for taking the time to make one of the most important investments you can ever make, which is the investment in yourself and you learning and getting ready to go to the next level. And so my job here is to stretch you a little bit, all right? Because there's something inside of you that's saying, I want to go to the next level. I'm ready for a breakthrough in my success, right? You're ready for that. And so my goal is to help you stretch to not only see what's more possible for you, but also to have a strategy to allow you to do that. My name is Matthew Harris. I actually started off in network marketing just as most people did, have no idea what I was doing. I had never been involved in business before, had never had any success in business, and I struggled for a very long time in this industry. I went through 3 companies going out of business. I went through all my friends and family not making any money. My first commission check in my career as a network marketing professional, I would even say, was $50. It took me 3 years to make $50. And the way I made $50 was I quit one business and then joined another company that cost me $149. And they said, if you go to this training class, we're going to give you $50 back. That's how I made my first $50 in this industry. Didn't sign up a single customer, didn't sign up a single brand ambassador. Today, I'm a CEO of our company. I'm co-founder of a network marketing company that is global. And just been absolutely incredible to have started with below nothing, to work my way through the industry to become a 6 and then 7 and then multiple 7-figure earner, and then helping a lot of people along the way. And now to have made the transition over to being a CEO and a corporate executive, there's always something to learn. And so I want to share with you some of the things that I've learned along the way. And if you look at the era that we're in right now, a once in a 100-year experience of having a pandemic actually become kind of like a normal thing. It's still maybe weird to say that, but that's been our experience for the last, since early 2020, so almost 2 years now. I remember exactly where I was when we found out that the world was never going to be the same again. We found out about the COVID-19 pandemic. And so now this event being virtual, I think is an indicator of that we've adapted. And we have the technology and the tools to be able to still grow our businesses, to be able to still grow our brands, in fact, accelerate that. And so I want to talk to you, whether you're just gotten started in your network marketing business or you've been around, you've already reached maybe the top rank and you're ready to push it to the next level. I'm here to challenge you, but also to give you some skills and techniques that I believe will help you go to the next level in these uncertain times that we live in right now. I call them 5 keys to massive growth during uncertain times. So I want to ask you a question. Have you ever heard about WhatsApp, Venmo, Uber, Slack? Have you ever heard of these companies before? All right, well, they're multi-billion-dollar companies, and they've pretty much become an everyday part of our life, right? We don't go through every day typically without ever using any one of these technologies, and there's so many others that I could mention. But what many people don't realize is that most of these companies that are household names today were started back in 2008, 2009, in the middle of one of the worst economic downturns in history called the Great Recession. That's actually when I re-engaged in the network marketing space myself. It was a wake-up call for me because I lost my job back during that time, and I decided to give network marketing an opportunity. I decided to give it a focus that I'd never given before, and it changed my life. And so I want you to think about this. In the middle of chaos, in the middle of calamity, when so many people are scared, running around, making all kinds of excuses or reasons for why they cannot achieve their goals, there's a group of people that are experiencing dramatic success, the kind of success that seems supernatural in essence, and it's happening right now. Just like these multi-billion-dollar brands that we know of today as WhatsApp, as Instagram, all right, and all these other that I mentioned a moment ago, they become part of our everyday life. They were started in the midst of chaos. And so that dream that you have for your life, that goal that you want to accomplish, I'm here to let you know you can accomplish it in the middle of what's going on in the world right now. Absolutely. In fact, you have never been found in a better place, better positioned to accomplish your financial goals. We have the technology, the tools, the resources, and you found yourself in the most incredible industry in the world of network marketing at a pivotal point in human history. More people than ever are looking for ways to earn an income from home. The lockdowns that we've gone through and all the different economic upheaval that we've experienced has forced many people to look at their lives and say, how do I want my life to really be? How do I really want to live? Do I want to just work for a company I can't stand? Or do I want to have more freedom in my life? And more people are raising their hands to entrepreneurship and raising their hands to network marketing. And so you have never, ever, I promise you, found a better opportunity than what you have your hands on right now. But just because you're sitting in an incredible rocket ship, or let's call it a Lamborghini of opportunities when it comes to network marketing, doesn't mean you know how to drive that vehicle, all right? You could be in a rocket ship, but if you don't know how to control that rocket ship or guide it the direction you want to go, you're not going to have a great result. And so I want to give you 5 keys for massive growth through uncertain times. And if you master these 5 keys, I believe that you'll be able to see astronomical success. You'll be able to reach the top of your company, be able to impact more people faster than ever before. One of the most important factors to having success in this business, and I would even say dramatic success, isn't necessarily your background, your race, your gender. That's what's the beautiful thing about our industry, is that we've got people from all walks of life having tremendous, I would even say outrageous success. But there's one common thread that you're going to find amongst all the top performers in our industry. It's urgency. Urgency. I want you to write this down. Urgency, friend. That's the first key principle to having massive growth in uncertain times, is you need to have incredible urgency for your business. Now, what I like to talk to people about is the concept of treating your business like you're going out of business. When most people start a business, if it's the first time they've done it in particular, they start looking for ways to get business cards, all right? They want to get their website just the right way, their bio just the right way. They want to start trying to figure out all the technicalities of their product or their service or their compensation plan. They want to become an expert in their company, and that's okay. But what I have found is that people that have urgency, that don't know all the details, tend to outpace everyone else. You ever seen that person at a party who's just really excited and they jump into the swimming pool, all right? Don't even seem to think about anything else. They just run and they jump in the deep end. And then there's those people that are kind of put their toe in the water, just kind of feel what the temperature is like. Friends, that was me in this industry. I just came into the industry, I was 18, turning 19 years old, and I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I thought, you know what, let me just read all the books that I possibly can. Let me go and listen to all the conference calls that I possibly can. Let me get prepared to get prepared to get prepared. And then when I start to take action, I'm going to be so good that I'm going to explode to the top. That was my own kind of thought process. And friends, I share with you, my journey was incredibly difficult for a very long time, and then had my breakthrough. And the breakthrough came for me when everything was turned upside down in my life. When I lost my job, my career, my income. I had nothing, was literally on the doorstep of homelessness, friends, and had to make a decision. And I decided to go all out. And so I decided to treat my business like I was going out of business. What does that look like? Have you ever seen a store that has signs all over the place? Maybe people outside waving signs trying to get your attention, saying things like 90% price deduction, or save all this money if you come and buy from us today because we're going out of business because of liquidation. All right, they are in a place of extreme urgency. They have to get rid of all this product. And so they're promoting like crazy all over the place. That might have been the first time you ever even discovered that they were in business. So let me ask you a question. What if that company had treated their business every single day like they were going out of business, with that same level of urgency, that same level of energy that they're putting out into the marketplace, letting people know that they exist? Because what I have found, friends, is that people don't struggle in our business because of rejection. This is the key. They struggle in this business because of obscurity, because of not enough people knowing what it is that they can provide for them as a solution. We're in the midst of so many different challenges in the world today. Everyone is looking for a solution to their problems. And you as a network marketing professional have the ability to solve so many problems for people. But if no one knows what you're doing, if no one knows what your product is, if no one knows what your company can do and what your leadership can provide for them, you're not able to serve them. And so if you're sitting around trying to just color code everything and trying to get it right before you get started, friends, I'm going to let you know, you don't have to be right before you start, but you have to get started before you can be right. And so if you're in a place where you maybe just have all this chaos around you, maybe you're struggling to break through, I want you to start treating your business like you are going out of business. Imagine if you had to move $100,000 of inventory in your business, all right, or you'd be bankrupt in a week. What kind of urgency would you approach your business with? How many people would you call? Would you call one person and then decide, oh, they say it's a scam, I'm not going to be able to do this? Or would you just keep calling and calling and calling until you got a yes? You would find a way to make it happen because of urgency. Number 2, I want you to choose your focus. Now, the theme of our Asian Networkers Convention and Expo is focus. And I like to tell people that focus is an acronym for follow one course until successful. But in the world that we live in today, with social media, with all kinds of media around us vying for our attention, it's even more important for you to choose what you focus on. Because friends, what you focus on becomes real. Because if you're struggling to make money and that's all that you focus on, you think about the lack of money, you now have put yourself in a place where that is all that you see, that's all that you experience. If you think that everyone around you doesn't have money to join your business or buy your product or whatever the case may be, you're going to find that you keep finding evidence of that. Have you ever noticed that before? It's kind of like if you were to decide on your dream car. And you start moving around and suddenly you start to see this dream car seems to be following you around. Have you ever noticed that before? Maybe it's a red Lamborghini and suddenly you start to see it, pulling up next to you at the traffic light or wherever you may be. You start to notice it because in life we don't get the things that we want. We get what we picture. And as you get a clearer and clearer picture of where it is that you're going, you start to find yourself being drawn to that destination. But that's the challenging part for many people, is because they're so fixated on where they are right now, on the struggles, the challenges that they're dealing with right now. And listen, I'm not trying to act like life is easy. Listen, Jim Rohn talked about this though when he said that the blowing of the wind is not what's going to determine your destination. It's the set of your sail. Life happens to all of us. But in the midst of chaos, in the midst of turmoil, there's massive opportunities. But you have to start to focus on them. You have to start to decide what you're going to have be your benefit, be your results of going through this experience. Are we at this point in time just going to sit around on our hands and just kind of, let's say, you know what? We were in the middle of the most incredible time to be an entrepreneur, which is where we are right now, and I did nothing with it. Or you're going to say, I'm the person that went out there and took massive advantage of the opportunity that I had. But you've got to be so serious about what you allow to come into your frame of focus. You have to maybe stop looking at certain things that are pulling you down. Maybe scrolling into social media and all you're doing is just watching the news feed, just trying to get to the bottom of the news feed, just constantly watching what other people are doing. Is number 1, taking you out of the game. Number 2 is allowing you to focus on things that may not matter so much for your business, because your energy, your level of excitement, your level of belief is so important. How many people are paying attention to you versus how many people are you paying attention to? We're going to talk more about that a little bit later on when I start talking about how to get attention for your business and why that's so important. But you need to be very clear about where it is that you're going, what it is that you want to accomplish. And friends, I'm going to tell you this. It has to become an obsession. It absolutely has to become an obsession. When you wake up in the morning, you have to be thinking about your goals. All throughout the day, constantly focus on where it is that you're going. Number 3 really builds on this concept of choosing your focus, which is to create your success environment. And I get really excited about this and passionate about this whenever I get an opportunity to talk, wherever it is around the world, about the importance of choosing a success environment. What are the things that you surround yourself with? You have to become more familiar with where it is that you're going than you are right now. And the way that you do that is to start to curate what's around you. Maybe some of those relationships have been holding you back. Maybe there's some people in your life that are just extremely negative, right? Whenever they call you, all it is just drains your cell phone battery because they're so negative. Or maybe all the messages they're constantly sending are just so negative. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Friends, that starts to become your reality. We talked a moment ago about the importance of focus. And so maybe it's now time to start to separate from some of those things that are holding you back. Maybe your time and your energy is being put in an area that is not serving you and that is beneath your calling as a human being. You get to decide what's around you. So what I like to do, friends, is I go through a goal setting process and I actually decide over a 9-day period what I want to accomplish. I have a year goal, a 3-year goal, a 5-year goal, and 10-year goal. I think that far in advance. But in the moment that we're in, a lot of times we can get distracted very quickly. And that's why your environment is so important. And so what I like to do is I like to have constant positive information around me. Whether it's podcasts that I'm listening to, whether it's training in our industry, whether it's a particular business model I'm trying to learn, or whatever the case may be, I constantly have things around me that are drawing me towards a new step of my evolution as a human being, to my growth level, which is where I'm going. My TV. I have YouTube on and I just have all kinds of my dreams showing up, all right? The dream houses, the dream cars, the dream significance playing constantly over and over and over and over again. Years ago, friends, when I was finding myself in a plateau in my career, I'd become a six-figure income earner in this industry and started to become a little bit just unhappy with where I was and where the business was going. And I found myself kind of stagnating. My wife and I moved to the Dominican Republic at the time, and I got up every morning and I would go outside and walk along the beach. It's similar to Boracay. One of my favorite places on the planet is at Boracay. We have the beautiful water and everything. Dominican Republic reminded me a lot of that. I got to wake up every morning, experience that. But remember I said I was stuck? I was ready to go to the next level. And so what I started to do is I started to think about where I wanted to be. But more importantly, I started to think about who I wanted to be. Friends, we a lot of times get so focused on the destination, we forget that we have to grow. We have to move to a next level in order for greater things to happen for us. And so I decided to record myself, telling myself of who I was going to be. I recorded this audio and I played it on my phone over and over and over and over and over every day. Till this day, I still repeat to myself the things that I said back in 2015 on that beach in the Dominican Republic. I started to talk about becoming more. And as I listened to this over and over and over and over again, guess what? My subconscious mind started to believe about who I actually was. And my results dramatically changed. And so friends, when I talk about a success environment, this is one of the most critical really exercises that you can do to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with as many positive people, as much positive information, as much positive affirmation as you possibly can, and watch how dramatic your results start to become. Number 4 of our 5 keys to creating massive growth in uncertain times is to keep it simple. It's to keep it simple. Friends, when someone asks you, what time is it? They're not asking you to explain how your watch works, right? They just want to know what time it is. And yet, it's so many of us in this business, when it comes to actually sharing with people about our products or the opportunity, or even putting together a game plan, try to get so complex. Friends, at the end of the day, you're looking to serve people. You don't have to become an expert in your product formulation or anything like that in order to serve people. Your job is to be a brand ambassador or a distributor for your company. And that means to share with people your experience. And when you start to complicate it, that pushes people away from you. This is a mistake I see so many people making. In fact, I made this mistake so many times I should get awarded for it, because I would always really spend so much time trying to explain things at the highest level to someone when all they were looking for was just a little bit of information and they could make a buying decision. Think about this. When you go to a store to buy a product, you don't go through a long seminar, for example, to buy the product. You're looking for the result. And so many of us, though, if we forget that concept, that people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So I want you to start to think about the conversations that you're having with people right now. So many people have so many issues that they're more aware of now than ever before, it feels like, right? And so start to think in terms of what problems can I solve for people with my products. So if you start to talk to them in terms of all the features, all the different things that are inside that product, okay, some people might pay attention to that, but most people want to know, is it real? Is it going to work for me? That's it. All right. What I like to call it is WIIFM. What's in it for me, right? At the end of the day, that's the radio station that almost 100% of people are tuned into all the time. And so when you're talking to people, I want you to start thinking in terms of simplifying everything down to the result that they're going to be able to get by joining your business, by working with you, and by using your products. And by keeping it simple, you're going to find that you're going to have so much more time, so much more energy, and you're going to have so much more fun when it comes to sharing with your opportunity with the world. Number 5, and this is something that most people don't talk a whole lot about in our industry, but it is so critical to having success, especially in chaotic times like what we are in right now. Number 5 on our 5 keys to creating massive success in uncertain times is to get attention. Is to get attention. Friends, success loves speed, but wherever there is success, there's someone who got someone else's attention. Because think about this. I said earlier on in the beginning of our discussion here that there's 5 keys and 5 key principles here. But one of the things that many people get tripped up over is they think that rejection is the reason that they're not succeeding in their business. Friends, I have found that rejection is not the reason why you're struggling, if that's where you are right now. It's because not enough people know what you can do for them. You haven't gotten their attention yet, because money flows where attention goes, especially in a world of microwave success. Did you know that the average person has an attention span less than a goldfish? All right, a goldfish attention span is 8 seconds. A human being's is less than a couple of seconds. I think it's even less than that, especially with all the things that are coming at us in these chaotic times. Now you log into social media, this person's talking about this person's talking about this news media outlet is talking about this news media outlet is talking about this. Everyone is vying for attention, because the people that are having the most amount of success recognize the value in getting attention. So let me ask you a question. How many people know you? A lot of times when you join this industry, the first thought that people have is, who can I get to join with me? So they start to think of, who do I know? All right, that's great. We're talking about your warm market. But friends, one of the things that I will tell you on your journey through this profession is you're going to start to realize very quickly that having a lot of people know who you are and how you can serve them is so much more valuable than you knowing a lot of people. I'm going to say this again. You don't need to know a lot of people to win big in network marketing, but you absolutely do need to be able to get a lot of people to know you to win big. But that's the beautiful thing about this. In the world that we live in, as I'm talking to you right now, using technology to share my message with you, you have the same ability to do this from anywhere in the world. That's why I'm so excited, more than ever, to be involved in this incredible profession, because we have the technology that allows us to connect with more people, to get in front of more people than ever before. But the thing I don't want you to forget is, at the end of the day, the technology alone is not going to bring that connection for you. People will do business with people that they like, that they know, and they trust. And so you want to start to think in terms of, how much value am I adding to other people? Strangers adding value to other people. Strangers coming up to you, identifying you as someone who can guide them to the next level, someone that can help solve a problem for them. And I'm telling you, when you start to think in that way, you'll start to find ways on all kinds of different platforms to start to get people's attention. But it all comes down to helping add value to their life. You add value to their life, not even thinking about, will they join in your business? Are they going to buy your products? But just adding value to their life. And I'm telling you, when that moment comes in their life, when they're ready to make that decision, they're going to call you. They're going to reach out to you because you added value to them. They know that you exist and they trust you. It's a major key. And in a chaotic world like right now, this is why I want you to start to think about what your message is going to be. What is your message? I'll tell you what I've found to be my message. My message has come down to simply one word, which is belief. Years ago, when I sat down with a gentleman that became a mentor of mine, he actually was an immigrant to the United States, similar to myself, and we were sitting down for lunch. I took him out for lunch, and it was probably the most incredible conversation I ever had, because this is someone who had already achieved what I wanted to achieve at the time. And I took him out for lunch because I wanted to learn from him. All right. His name was Shane. And so Shane and I are having lunch. And as we're starting to get to know each other, I tell him about growing up in Africa, coming over to the United States and everything. And he says, man, I want to tell you something that I think has been a huge lesson for me and having the success that I've had. And he says, I heard about a village in Africa that was going through a drought. And he says, and you know what it's like when there's a drought, especially if it's in Africa, it's a big problem. And what they had done is they decided to bring the entire village together to pray for rain. He says, and I learned something when I heard this story. So friend, I really want you to catch the lesson in this story. And he said they brought everyone together to pray for rain. They hadn't had any rain in years. And as they got together, they had a circle of people standing around holding hands. And the pastor starts to pray. And in the middle of his prayer, someone starts to laugh. Can you imagine how rude that must have been? It just shocked everyone's state of focus. Everyone starts to open their eyes to see, why is this person laughing? And they looked down and they saw that a little child had come and joined the circle. Little child. But she remember they were there to pray for rain. But this little child, not only did she show up to pray for rain, she brought her umbrella with her. Friends, where's your umbrella right now? You know that you're in the most incredible opportunity that you've ever ever been able to find. But there's something that you have to make a decision about, and that's about your level of belief. When you're certain that the rain is going to come, friends, you don't go outside in just shorts. You go out with your rain boots on, with your umbrella, because you know that the rain is about to come. And I believe that there is a huge amount of momentum that's about to enter into your business that is possible for you to achieve the more results than ever before. But you have to start to step into that in your own path of belief. I want you to bring your umbrella with you. Shane told me, he said, when I heard that story, he says, I started to change the way that I approached my business. When I started a new company, I would go to a bank and I would open up the account that had the largest fees, and they would tell you, Shane, you just started your business. This is for a business that's doing millions of dollars. That's what this kind of account is meant for. He says, that's what we're going to do. So I want to start with that. Friends, when you start with the end in mind, when you set that goal for yourself and you take these 5 principles that I shared with you, that rain of abundance that is coming your way absolutely will come. But my question to you is, where is your umbrella?